I'm Derek Turner, and this is my wife, Kim Turner, and we've been at Springwell since actually the very first day. I've always been in church. My mama has been the secretary at a church I grew up in for going on 50 years, so my dad was a deacon, and so growing up, we were taught to tithe. It's all I ever knew. I tithed on my allowance, on any income that I had. My parents encouraged me to tithe, and I saw blessings from that, even as a small child. And throughout my whole life, it's been the first thing we do when we get a paycheck is we write our tithes, and it's just ingrained in my very being.
As a child, I was always given money to take to church because I didn't have a way of earning any money, but my parents always gave me money every Sunday to take to church. And then as a teenager, when I was earning money, that was the first thing that my mother would always tell me is make sure you give your tithe first and that you don't spend any money until after you've done that. And so it was always the way I was raised as well.
A few years ago, it was probably in January, I made a commitment between myself and God to tithe or give over and above my tithe that year, and it was a significant amount of money, but broken down over 12 months, it was manageable. So the year went along, and I didn't keep that commitment, and it came to about September, and through a quiet time, God reminded me of that commitment. I was like, God, it's been 9 months and I haven't given anything. It's going to be very difficult for me to give that between now and the end of the year. So I started trying to negotiate with God, and he went quiet on it, and so I went about my way. And then October, he reminded me again very strongly that I had made him a commitment. I was like, God, I don't know how I can do this. If I do this now, I'm going to have to take money out of what we call our emergency fund to pay this. And he's like, you made a commitment, and I expect you to keep it. It was an audible voice, but it was impressed very deeply on my heart that I made that commitment. So I made the decision actually on a Saturday night. It was almost 11 o'clock to write that check. So I wrote it, reluctantly put it in an envelope, and when the offering plate came by, put it in the offering, and I felt a relief. So I went to work that next week, and during the week I got called into the president of our company's office, and he said, I wanted to just thank you for what you did this year, and he gave me a bonus for that year. And when I opened it up, it was actually twice, not what I gave God, but it was twice what we gave to God. It was huge to me to know that God's going to take care of us in those times when we challenge Him. And I would encourage folks to challenge God, see what He'll do. It may not be a monetary blessing, but it'll be a blessing that will be abundant, more abundant than you could ever imagine. We've got other examples in our life where we've been faithful in giving. That's probably the most profound, but certainly God, He showed up that day, and wow, it just blew me away.